Right. So, want to make a video on this 2017 Chevy Equinox. Um, Originally, I wasn't going to make a video. I thought it would be a very clean, forward, straight cut. But one thing I want to talk about: these are not your all data. It's still all data, but these are not your OE interactive prints. And the reason why I have these printed out is because on this car, the front speakers do not work on either side. I'm like, okay. And with the front speakers comes with the audio controls for blinkers, warnings, chimes, everything. So they kind of need their front speakers. And so I'm believing it's going to be the amplifier at this point. My what is it? I did have the original, like the interactive printout diagrams. And then I realized real quick why I needed to print these out. And that was because the rear speakers are still working after I had the amplifier disconnected. And why is that? Because the rear speakers on this particular model go through the radio itself. So when you go to factory stuff, the factory stuff is this VQN UZ8. And that's the stuff for where the radio plays the rear speakers. So with this, we're gonna get set up over here, something like that. We're gonna try and test this. I don't know if this should be hot at all times or not. But we're looking for this pin 4 on X3, and then pin 8. Right? Is that pin 8? Yeah, pin 8 on X3. So we got a red and white on X3. And I believe X3 is going to be our first one here. So we got a red and white right there, right? And it's thick. So that to me would say it's a power cable. And then the other guy should be a black and white for our amplifier here. And that other guy does look like it. I don't know if this amplifier is always powered up at all times or not. I'm probably gonna have to, I'm gonna get some T-pins in there, and then we're gonna verify that we actually have good voltage. I'm pretty sure we do, because I checked the fuse on the kick panel on this side. There's a kick panel and there's fuses in there. And I checked that 30 amp fuse, which is right there. It did have power, but I didn't check it over here. So let me get set up with some T-pins, and let's see what we got. Alright, so we just kind of ripped this guy out, that X1 from the amplifier. So red and white and black and white. Again, black and white, red and white. Those are our power wires right there. Let me get this guy. Come on. So, as you can see, we got perfect power. So we got power all the time there. Alright, so awesome. Proved that out. I didn't shove the T-pins directly in. I shoved them off to the side. I can go back in. Again, we should be having a chime here. There's one other thing I'm going to set up that I had set up but not on these OE prints, and that was I got to see if they actually match up. But these interactive color prints, and with interactive color prints, there's one big issue, and that is the rear speakers are also tied in with the amplifier, which this car is not. So we're mainly focused on the left front door, and we're going to see if those pins match up, and I'm going to hook up a scope to it, and if they are the same, I should get the same thing of what I saw, which was an amplitude signal saying the radio is telling the amplifier, hey, do this, but the amplifier is not doing that. If not, I am 99.9% sure the amplifier is just crap, and we got to get a new one. And they're not cheap. Okay, so we know we have our power and ground. Next up on the other connector, X2, for this left front here, right? Left front is a pin 1 and 9. Pin 1 and 9. How are we going to check that? To know, you know, obviously this car, again, doesn't have a chime. We're going to connect to pin 1 and 9, which is right up front here. Believe me, guys, my camera's not good enough to pick it up, but pin 1 and 9, it's tan and white up top, and then the dark green down below. That's actually what the print shows. I'll just prove it up to you real quick. So tan and white, dark green, and pin 1 and 9. You can actually see the numbers for the connector pins on the connector, but the camera's not going to pick it up. They're so tiny. And all I have is my scope here. Okay, I have my scope. And we're going to put the key in the dash. Turn it. And we could see the pulses of the chime. And once the radio kicks on, this is going to get really fuzzy because it's... Yep, because it's trying to amplify now the song. So, turn off the radio. Try and turn off the radio. But you get it. We have stuff going in and nothing going out. Now, there's one more thing we're going to check. It's an ohm test. One thing that this thing can't do, but we're going to do an ohm test from here to the speaker. We should have about almost 4 ohms. So after that, that's going to pretty much give me a 99% thing of that this amplifier, that guy right there, that he died. This car, no accidents, really new to have wiring problems. But like I said, the last thing we're going to do is figure out the wires going from there to the door, do a continuity check as our last thing. After that, I'm calling the module amplifier. It's not even a module, it's just the amplifier. So the last piece of the puzzle here is this front left speaker right there. We don't have a tweeter on this one, at least as far as I can see. But we go down to pin 5 and pin 13, so a tan and a gray. Pin 5 and 13 on X2, which is that center one again. And we were just on. So if you look at it, that's where we're at. It's like 5 pins up. So there's your tan, there's your gray, there's your gray, there's your tan. And that's what they're deciphering there. We should have about 4 ohms on this guy. I got him. Spun him around. Sorry about that, guys. You know. 1, 2. 3.5, 3.6. So that's good. So at this point, I'm calling the amp. We got to pull them out. There's 3 bolts that hold it in. We got to pull them out to actually see the part number. So as you can see, like, one bolt is here, the other bolt is down below, and then there's one up top. So that should be fun. But once we get those out, you know, this bottom connector should come out and just slip out like that. So once we get those out, we should be able to get the amp out and order a new one, and then should be rocking and rolling again with this thing. So like I said, the big thing about this video is these redrawn OE guys that actually say like right rear speaker that go to the amp is not true based off this vehicle. Based off of common sense, when I disconnected it, I still heard radio in the back. I'm like, okay. So this thing, like I said, it dealt with, I think one has this and one doesn't. Don't quote me on this. But this one, the radio plays the rear speakers and amplifies the front. So this is the big thing I wanted you guys to be aware of. But we just proved everything out. Powers, grounds, input, no output. With good ohmage from the output. So 99% sure it's just the amplifier. That's where we're at.